trying to avoid the monstrosity I have set up right now. See if I can do this without disturbing too much. So, the book I'm reading right now had, a chapter or whatever it has, relatively small, whatever they are, on the marshmallow test, the famous marshmallow test, where they give a child a marshmallow and say, if you can wait 15 minutes, I'll be gone. If you can wait that long, I'll give you a second marshmallow. But if you eat it before that, this is all you get. And it's been used to demonstrate, because a follow-up study based on what was discovered, to correlate the self-control aspect to humans and how important, even at that very early age, that self-control is going to be, and the habits that you gain there. And it also helped to correlate to current socioeconomic status, etc., to show things that, like, more disorganized homes are more likely to have a low impulse control, all kind of stuff like that. But it just got me thinking about a few things about the test. And I guess the key one is, I think you can be too far on the, yes, I will delay gratification. And I'm thinking in my own terms here. If I had been presented with this, I would be given kind of a conundrum. Because first of all, I don't really get, even at a young age, I didn't really like marshmallows all that much. They're fine, But, it's not that great an incentive to be given a second one. All the same, I would see that that's the goal, and I would try to win that goal, right? Nothing to do with my desire for having 2 marshmallows instead of 1. But here's where I see the flaw in it all. I'm being left alone for 15 minutes with nothing to do except that marshmallow. Now, my reward will be another marshmallow, neither of which I particularly want. But I've got absolutely nothing to keep me busy. I can kind of imagine, I can imagine eating the marshmallow. Okay, well, what does that do for you, though? So here's the thing, in terms of goals, yeah, at least some of my time is engaged in something kind of interesting. So, yeah, maybe a bigger plus than that second marshmallow. But just now I started realizing, I think I know what I would do if I truly understood the judgment calls, etc. in there. I think I would rip the marshmallow into little pieces so I had many more things to play with. Again, not terribly interested in the marshmallow itself as a reward. I'm simply looking at, how would I cope with this 15 minutes I'm being locked away? If I could eat the marshmallow and be let out, it would definitely be the advantageous solution. Now, if there's all kinds of other stuff to do, then the marshmallow probably becomes unimportant, right? But I don't think that's how the test is arranged. And then I think to my own life, and the fact that I tend to hoard things, often with this could be useful later. Now, these aren't necessarily things that are consumable and that I want to consume, okay? Like my paper cups. I come home with a stack of paper cups from work. Not anymore, but I used to. It's not like I want to drink lots of cups of coffee and throw them out or anything. It's just simply that, it's no cost to me to bring these home and rinse them out and then save them for, as it turned out to be many years later, when I did not have a lot of disposable cups available for free anymore. But to align more with the actual marshmallow test, when I have a treat, say some chocolate or something like that, I get down. I don't generally overindulge. Ice cream maybe the exception. Ice cream I eat relatively fast actually, but most treats, especially as it gets lower, I end up saving. I end up saying, this is not the perfect moment for me to have this treat. There will be a time when I want it more than this, or something along those lines, so that I'm delaying, I'm putting off my gratification or whatever. Certainly, like alcohol is this way. And until I buy more, and now once again have my stockpiles built up, I don't feel any capacity to indulge in what I've already, what I've been holding off on. But here's the problem with that. Things go bad. Things don't necessarily stay as good as they were, So like with the chocolate, chocolate kind of degrades a little bit over time, and I'll find myself, not eating something and it not being as good when I do finally get around to it, because I've let it decay in some sense or another. And there's a lot of stuff in my life that I feel like I've done that, where I've diminished the value of the thing that I'm saving simply by my desire to save. And, you can look at that with not that this is a good example for me at all, but people spending money to go on a vacation or to have some experience or something at a time in their life when they can still fully enjoy it and all that. Rather than save it away so that, it'll accumulate and they'll have more, but maybe not available when they can really take pleasure in it as much, because honestly, life after a certain age stops being, most things just stop being any fun at all, right? That may differ depending on, some circumstances, and certainly it differs by person. Yeah, I'm looking at my own circumstances here, but yeah, I don't really know that I regret too much, like not spending something on something or along those lines, where I'm like, oh yeah, I really should have done that while I could enjoy it fully, like, go on a trip somewhere. Again, I've never really been big on trips, right? So that's kind of part of the problem there is, I've never really wanted to spend money on stuff. But I can think of things like, not going out to dinner certain times or whatever. But that's more of a default behavior on me. It's like, yeah, I'm out walking or whatever. Am I going to gain any particular value? I have to make that decision. Am I going to gain any particular value? Are we, because where it usually hits the hardest is, thinking about with someone else who, well, in particular with my past wife, But the thing is, I'm not really sure, because the experience of going out and eating and everything was, you have to be around people and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say it's terribly traumatic, but it definitely had a huge disincentive for her. And it has a natural disincentive for me in that, yeah, sure, maybe I would enjoy this more, but I got food at home that maybe I would enjoy just as much, and it would mean getting home later and all kind of stuff like that. So it's really hard to find these comparisons where my sort of tendency to delay gratification or whatever has really hurt me. But I can definitely see it. I can see where, again, I don't know what they do if they come in and they see that I've, made little building blocks out of my marshmallow and started doing things with them, or started playing little puzzles with these pieces. That I've completely destroyed the marshmallow, but I haven't eaten it. What's up with that? In order to find something to amuse myself for the 15 minutes, as opposed to just having to, it's sort of like it's this horrible experiment, because in terms of your mental state, if you eat it right away, you're still bored, you have nothing to focus on now, and it's just gone. Maybe you have some remnant of the flavor in your mouth, but it's not gonna fill that 15 minutes by any means. If you've got it sitting there, it's going to be this permanent anxiety. What am I going to do with it? Should I eat it? Should I not? What the hell? And again, it's just going to make you miserable. I feel like the fact that you've eaten it, you might feel bad that you've eaten it and now you won't get the other one, but you also are feeling bad because there's not even a marshmallow to look at anymore. So yeah, I don't know, man. It feels like an experiment designed to make people feel miserable, no matter what they do. And so I go with my Kobayashi Maru solution to it. All right, up it goes.